today we're going to be primarily talking about what happened. Today's Wednesday, like 5 days ago on Saturday. Islam Makhachev beat Ian Garry. And this video is going to be primarily about Carlos Prates, and because that's the next matchup, obviously. And Islam stated that like 10 times already. Firstly, I just want to go briefly into a recap here. What happened in the fight, and my thoughts on it. I was excited in the build-up. I was super excited for this fight. I could not wait for it to happen. Good build-up, everything. The fight was terrible. I mean, we have it on screen right now. Combined, these guys had like less than 60 significant strikes, bro. In 25 minutes of fighting in a championship fight. Like, we can't be having that. That's unacceptable, dude. Like, that is terrible. Islam has now had 2 consistently very, very boring performances. And I can already see he had a head kick in round 2. That's cool. Do something with it. After the head kick, he tripped him, held him on the ground for 3 minutes, did nothing. But Garry did really good. I picked Garry to win by a close decision. 49-46 on 2 scorecards is atrocious, especially on rewatch. And listen, there's an argument for Garry round 5, dude. Off damage, he did more damage. Islam landed a whopping 0 significant strikes in round 5. 0. Absolutely terrible, but there's not much to say. I mean, Gary's definitely going to be champion. He just needs to do more, but I know it's hard to do stuff against these guys because they like to hug and all that. And I used to be a fan of Islam. This guy at 155 was so entertaining. Poirier, the Volk fights, Oliveira, even Moicano, all super entertaining. I just think 170, he's going to be a terrorist of the sport. That brings me to my next thing here. Islam is killing the division. And when I mean killing, I don't mean he's running through these guys. I mean he's actually killing the division. Like, he's killing it. If he does this, the Prates and Morales, the division's dead. Completely dead. Prates and Morales are 2 extremely entertaining fighters who we all want to see fight Islam, right? If Islam does that to them, dude, I'll be so pissed off, and everyone should be, because this is unacceptable, having this in a combat sport. Do damage on your opponent. This is why I hate the Khabib comparisons to Islam, because Khabib, when he took people down, did damage. Ground and pound, submission, every fight. I put a little note, terrorist question mark up here, because I don't know if he's a terrorist or not. I might classify this guy as a terrorist if he does this to Carlos Prates. Unacceptable. But let's actually get into a stylistic breakdown of Islam versus Prates, right? So let's talk about the striking first. Things to address here are the improvements since the Ian Garry loss of Carlos Prates, right? Which happened a little over a year ago, right? The first thing that obviously is a big improvement is, it's not really an improvement, but it's going to help him, is the experience he's had, right? He's fought just recently 2 former champions, destroyed him, right? He's fighting high level of opposition recently. And another big reason, the biggest reason he lost the Ian Garry fight was because of his low output, and he's definitely improved that. I have the stats pulled up here just to kind of back it up here. Obviously, via the eye test, you can just see he's in the JDM fight, first round. He never's done that. He's constantly getting better, and he's improving his output levels, right, of volume of strikes. He would go 1-2, 1-2, JD would shell up, tie clinch, high knee. He would do all these things. He landed a lot of strikes in round 1 and 2. But look at this stat right here, TSL, total strikes landed, right? For some context, the Jeff Neal and Leon Edwards fights both lasted about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Leon Edwards was a 2-round fight, obviously, but Edwards grappled for about 3 minutes of that first round, 2 minutes of that first round. They had about 4 minutes on the feet, right? So take that into consideration, right? These are 2 about 4-minute fights on the feet. So Ian Garry fight, 64 strikes landed in 5 rounds, and probably 30 of them came from round 5. Very low output. Neil Magny fight, same length as the Jeff Neal and Leon Edwards fight, and he almost doubled it in the Edwards fight. And in the Jeff Neal fight, he got like 20 more. Jean Liang, he teed off on Jean Liang, but that also was like a 9-minute fight, right? That was 9 minutes. In the first round, I think he landed like 15 or 20. So I mean, there's a constant theme here. He's definitely increasing his strike output. Charles Radke, 15 strikes, that's it. And I think that was another 3-4 minute fight. Again, doubled it in the Jeff Neal fight, did more in the Leon Edwards fight, 9 more strikes. And then Trevin Giles and Mitch Ramirez fight, 38-30, but those were both 2-round fights. And Prates against Jeff Neal and Leon Edwards almost got that many strikes in 4 minutes, not even a round, right? So that's the first thing that comes to my mind is the improvement in volume, which I just showed. Next is the range. The range is scary, bro. Very scary. Garry had a reach advantage on Islam, and his reach is 74.5. Prates is 78 inches. He is so long. Pause. He is, though. It's crazy. And against Islam's lineal exits, going straight back, straight forward, hands kind of dropping, Prates can definitely knock this guy out like 100%. I'm convinced. You should be convinced by now. I'm not saying that Prates is 100% going to win, but I'm saying if Prates touches you, he knocks you out. And it's evident, bro. And I put Southpaw Orthodox, greater than Orthodox, because Prates does really, like, a lot better against Southpaws than Orthodox, and guess who's a Southpaw? Islam. JDM, Southpaw, pretty much killed him. Like, almost killed him. I actually kind of felt bad. Edwards, Southpaw. I know he knocked him out in Orthodox, but that was just because of Leon Edwards' stupid decision of switching stances in mid-space, giving Prates the outside foot. And Jeff Neal, Southpaw, dismantled him. Like, he does so good against Southpaws, his full skill set. Oh, I skipped this one. Islam wears damage bad. This is a huge point. Look at Islam's face after 3, or was that 4 rounds with Ian Garry, who landed like 20 punches. This guy punched you 20 times, and half of them were like baby punches against the cage, and your face looked like that. Bro, if Prates is seeing that, he's getting his flow, he's grabbing your guard, his elbows, his knees, kicks, his jab. Bro, if you get scar tissue like that against Prates, that's bad, bro. Like, that's really bad, all right? Let's move on. If you're an Islam fan, you're shaking, bro. You're nervous, you're very nervous, bro. And questionable cardio at 170. Garry showed a little resistance, actually a lot of resistance, but it was a very slow-paced fight for the most part. In rounds 4 and 5, his hands were dropping, dude. And he was mouth breathing, super tired. Not super tired like Hamza, but he was gassed, bro. He was tired. His hands were on the drop, getting lazy. I put low output, very low output at 170. And this kind of links together with another point I made, but we'll get into that later. Overextends and sloppy entries. That's just normal for Islam, though. I mean, look at every fight: the Oliveira fight, Moicano fight, the Volk fights. Not really the Poirier fight, but in the Garry fight, extremely sloppy entries, and he throws like these looping shots. His right hook is atrocious, dude. The one that dropped Oliveira, I think Prates knocks him out if he does that. That hook is really bad, man. He has very, not very good boxing, especially when he's forced to strike with someone. Like, he gets uncomfortable at range, and he has to force a strike, force a combination. It's not very good. Big reach disadvantage, already covered that. Shook up by Ian Garry. I know Prates did too, but I already explained the improvements. Islam, at the mid-prime of his career, is getting shook up and low output by Ian Garry and just had a staring contest on the feet. If you're staring at Prates, bro, and doing nothing, he's going to outdamage you. He is. He's going to be laughing. And I put this sequence up here, dude, just to put it in your mind. Same exact thing, dude. The way Prates knocked out Edwards and how Garry was laying that straight right hand against Islam in round 5 when his hands were dropping. He was exiting lineally, sorry. And Prates is longer, way more dangerous, infinitely more dangerous than Garry. And Prates does have good cardio. And that round 5 against Garry, I mean, his best round. He looked good. And 3 rounds of teeing off on JDM, he did fine. He didn't look gassed at all. He was having fun. The grappling obviously is the biggest part of this fight. And people are acting like Prates has just terrible grappling. It's actually pretty good. All right. Islam grappling is 100% superior, right? The judo. I did put mid-cage wrestling, though, because against the cage with these bigger guys, it's harder for Islam to take them down. They have the cage to work with. They can break the grips, elbow the forearms, the Peter Yan method. I put this down, Peter Yan method. Dude, I think Prates can really do that, elbow the forearms. It works so good. Prates did good against the... let me just talk about this real quick. The Ian Garry fight, right? Prates, Islam's best takedown is a single leg. Ian shot about 6 single legs on Prates and did the same defense every time. The same defense that Ian Garry did on Islam. Same defense. Prates did a little different though. Garry, obviously I have it on screen right here. Garry would shoot a single leg. Prates would go under the crotch in between the legs. And instead of actually reaching around like Garry did, he stuffed the head or got a crossface grip. This put a lot of tension on Garry. He used his right foot, his foot farther away, to use it as like kind of like a break in his posture. And he would end up on top every time. I think he got taken down twice in this fight. And every time he did, he got right back up against the cage. Reverse position. And got back up at range, right? But this is the same defense that Garry used on Islam and actually neutralizes wrestling. I think Prates is... I don't know how his physical strength compares to Ian Garry. It's kind of hard to gauge that. But Prates has good takedown defense and I gotta address the JDM takedown because a lot of people were like, well, JDM took him down, so Islam will. No. JDM, when he took Prates down, Prates didn't care. And that's not cope. There was like 20 seconds left in the round after Prates like, okay, I just won off damage. JDM shoots a takedown, starts laughing, and doesn't even try to defend. No resistance. Because, like, what's JDM going to do to me on the ground, dude? And if you really want to bring up the takedown, I can just bring up how in the second round it was. JDM tried to take Prates back, and he just shuck him right off. Like, it's kind of a relevant point. I don't think it's that. That's completely irrelevant. Like, you cannot be bringing that up in the Islam fight because Prates just didn't care. Bring up the Ian Garry fight where he defended, like, almost all of the takedowns with the same defense that Garry used against Islam to neutralize him. Obviously, big difference between Garry and Islam, but is there really a big difference when Islam's gassed and his hands are down and he has scar tissue all over his face? You tell me, bro. In conclusion, they each have the advantage in their own game, right? Prates obviously on the feet, Islam on the ground. It's no debate there. Cardio advantage, I don't know. They kind of have like at 155, like if Islam hasn't fought at 170, I would be like, oh my god, Islam has so much cardio advantage. It's honestly even. Prates has shown no signs of gassing out. He looked a little slow in round 5 against Garry, but Islam also looked very slow in round 5 against Ian Garry. Carlos versus Garry in comparison. Carlos is longer, more dangerous, is he a better striker? I think he's a better striker. I think Ian's a better game planner. I think he has better IQ, but I classify Prates as a better striker for sure. Way more dangerous, good setups. This is gonna be not an open stance fight. It's gonna be close stance. But the calf kick's gonna be there for both of them. But Carlos is more dangerous. He was throwing the high kick and the body kick against southpaws, and the knee is amazing in southpaw. He did it against JDM, Leon Edwards, Jeff Neal. And once he gets creative, he's so dangerous, right? But against southpaw, he's so good. Like I said, the Muay Thai just gaps in the striking. And wearing damage, already went over that. And Prates is constantly improving. He is. JDM fight was his best performance. It was. So, who would I pick if they were booked right now? I don't know. I think I might pick Prates, dude. I think I will. Obviously, my mind might change. Maybe I'm having recency bias. I just saw Islam's face look like Swiss cheese from Ian Garry. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you for watching.